Hey guys, and welcome back to another video of the series Top Test Automation Interview Questions with Answers. So, as similar to the previous videos wherein we spoke about all the different questions from different categories, welcome to one more video. Things are going to be similar. We are going to talk about more questions which are critical from the interview perspective. So, without wasting any more time, I'll start. But just one thing I want to talk to you about. So, we also give, me along with one of my partner, we give live trainings on different aspects or different domains of technology. For example, business analysis, quality analysis, Salesforce development, admin, uh, AI. All these different aspects that you can think of. All the details are here in this website. So if you go to this website, I'll share the URL of this website. Don't worry, and you will have these different courses and everything available here. So if you want to go ahead and if you're interested, go to this website, have a look at the different content, the different course outline, everything which is mentioned here, and you can reach out to us. You can fill up a form here. We will call you back, or if you want us to reach out to you, feel free to comment on the video, or maybe I'll share one form URL with you so you can go and fill up that form as well. We'll reach out to you. Anyways, any way that you feel more comfortable, you can do that, right? So yeah, without wasting any more time, I'll go back to the questions. So the first question that is to be for this video, but originally, which is the 23rd question of the entire playlist. So the question is, can captcha be automated? So this is a sort of a fairly frequently asked questions in test automation interviews, because we see we have seen that almost all of the things can be automated. You can automate UI, you can automate emails, you can automate PDF validations, everything. But captcha is one thing that cannot be automated. And captcha is something like this. This is I am not a robot that you usually fill in on all the websites. That is what captcha is. Uh, the whole soul of, or the whole soul and point of captcha is to ensure that bots and automated programs do not access sensitive information. So, in a way, these captchas were implemented to make sure that automation programs, the ones that we're building, do not unnecessarily hamper the application and do not make it fail, right? So, all in all, that is why captchas were implemented, and that is why you will not be able to automate anything wherein there's a captcha. Now, you might question that if I am testing something in a QA environment wherein there's captcha enabled, then what do I do? The plain, the most logical answer is that you ask the dev team to disable the captcha till automation is going on and then enable it back. This is what we have done. This is one of the most practical solutions and, of course, one of the most obvious solutions. But yes, that is what you have to do. Cool. Then let's go to the next question. Uh, what is the utility of Maven in Selenium? So, Maven is a build automation tool that is used in Selenium to manage project dependencies in the project lifecycle. In very simple words, Maven is used to structure your project in a good manner, in a better manner, keep your code organized. The Maven folder structure has to look something like this one, right? So you have this project home, then you have src main, and then in main you have the Java and resources. In test you have Java resources, and so on, right? Basically, whenever you say that your project is Maven friendly, you're using Maven build, you have to make sure that your project is in such a way, right? I'm going to go and show it to you as well. So do you see there's a project hierarchy? SRC main Java, SRC, then you have the folders and then subfolders and so on, right? SRC main resources. So all in all, when you have a project hierarchy of this way, that is when you can say that your project is Maven friendly, right? Then there is a life cycle in Selenium. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail because that is a topic in itself. But yes, when you talk about this life cycle, there are some stages, there are some parts of this life cycle. First one is clean, this one. Then the second one is install, then run, right? And of course, there are many more cycles in between, for example, Maven test and all these. So if you want to learn more about this, I would say just do a quick Google search about Maven lifecycle and you will find all these different stages, right? So if your project is, if there's a Maven dependency in your project, it is always better to run the particular life cycle and that will help. Okay, cool. Then the next question is how to verify the title of a web page. The simple reason, the simple explanation here is that you have to focus on two methods. Number one is get text, the number two is assert, right? The point is that what this particular question is asking you. So let's suppose if I go to this particular tab, reCAPTCHA demo, right? The title here is this. Now I want to make sure that whatever title is being fetched properly or not. So how do I do it? First of all, I will use this method to get the text of the web page, and then I will use assert. Assert is basically that matches expected and actual conditions. So I will pass on the actual value from the method, and the expected is something I'll pass the string from my own end. And if these two match, then I would say that yes, the page that has loaded, the title which is being visible, they are the same. So that is why I can say that the title of the web page has been verified successfully, right? Try doing this, try implementing this. Another hint for you, I don't want to sort of give you all in your hands in a couple of questions at least. It's not that in all the questions I'll be asking you to do things on your own, but yes, for a couple of questions I feel which are a little easy, I give you the hint, and then you go and try to do the research on your own end, right? So go ahead and try to search for a program that will help you verify the title of a web page. If you just go and put this in Google, you'll get a program. Try doing that, and of course, if you have any queries, feel free to comment. Perfect. Then, next question is, how can you find broken links using Selenium WebDriver? So on any web page for that matter, there are always some broken links, right? And there's a way to find that. This is a little complex, so I came up with this solution on my own. I mean, I'll be sharing the solution with you. So, but before that, a broken link, also termed as a dead link, is one that does not work. So all in all, when you click on a link and you're not able to navigate to the web page which is expected, that is what is a broken link in simple words, right? Now, if I want to fetch that what particular links are broken on a particular web page, I have this program. Let's quickly go through it. This is the usual script, right? Then in line number 23, you navigate to the URL, and then you basically instantiate an object for list web element, and therein you give the XPath, my bad, not the XPath, you use the tag name as a web locator, and then you find the links using the A tag. We're good till here. Then if you want to print the number of hyperlinks which are available or which are present on the web page, you will use something like in line number 27. That is, you'll print out or you will print the total number of links by using the size method on the all URLs variable. Again, I instantiated a list which will basically capture all the links that are present on the web page. So they are now in the variable which is termed as all URLs, right? And then I will go ahead and use the dot size method to fetch the size or the count of hyperlinks which are there on the web page in this particular variable, right? Then you use an iterator, you use a sort of an iteration concept wherein you loop through this list and then you keep on printing those things, right? Or all the links, right? So what I'm going to do, I am going to now sort of run this program and then we'll see that what actually gets printed, right? So let me go here and let me see the console. It's taking a little bit of time. Let's see how the result is. Perfect. Cool. Let me maximize the console here. Total links on the web page is 12. The web page, I mean, the links that have been fetched, their values and their details are here. So you can see that this is the first one navigates you to home. And then in one of that, it's a bad request. It's a dead link or a broken link. In one of it is a forbidden and so on, right? So next time if someone questions you, you're going to give them a hint that, okay, in order to fetch the hyperlinks on a web page, I'm going to use something like this, as in line number 26 and 27. And if I want to get or fetch the text of all those links, that is which link is working and which is not, I will use something like mentioned on line number 32, right? Cool. So now let's go on to the next question. The next question is, differentiate between assert and verify commands. So you use assert and verify a lot in your Selenium programs, and this is a fairly common question because a lot of people tend to get confused in this. So I have charted down this small matrix for you, which will make it easier for you to understand. So let me try to zoom it as well. So as it says, give me a second. First of all, execution behavior wise, assert stops the test execution on failure, whereas verify continues, right? Criticality, it is used for very, very important checks, wherein if it is not working, then the execution has to break, has to stop. Verify is used for non-critical checks. Then error handling, assert throws an exception or failure. Verify logs failure but does not throw an exception. All in all, you are running a test case. There are 10 steps in it, right? You feel that this third step, even if it fails, if let's suppose it's a text issue, that is the text, the spelling is not right, then in that case you feel that okay, this is a failure, but I don't want this particular thing to break my entire test case because I can proceed ahead, right? In that case, you're going to use the command or the method that is verify. So verify will log, will capture the failure, but will not stop the execution. Whereas if you feel that a step, if it fails, it is going to break everything and I won't be able to proceed, it's a critical thing. In that case, you're going to use assert because it is a hard stop. It stops the execution there and then. That is the basic difference, right? So I hope that this difference is clear to you. Next time someone asks you, you say assert puts a hard stop, verify puts a soft stop. It's as simple as that, right? One tip for you when you're giving the interviews, always make sure that you give crystal crisp answers. Do not overcomplicate or over detail things. Yes, for now we talk a lot about the different concepts. We talk about the answers in detail, but the interviewer is only interested to know one line answers because he or she has to ask a lot of different questions, right? So, again, as an example, the difference is assert puts a hard stop, verify puts a soft stop. That's it. If you give this answer, that's self-sufficient. Okay. Now let's go on to the next question. What are the different Selenium frameworks? So there are different types of frameworks which are available in Selenium. And what are frameworks? They are basically code structures that help with writing and maintaining test scripts for web applications. All in all, what's a framework? It's basically a sort of a template that has some information or some data structured beforehand. So that will save a lot of time for you. You have a lot of reusable things to work around, right? And then there are four different types of frameworks which are very, very, you know, famous. So it's data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework, and linear automation framework. This is all that you have to know, right? Then there is one more behavior-driven framework that is BDD, which is somehow not a part of this list, but yes, you should know. BDD or behavior-driven framework is also a part of that. I'm going to include it right now. So behavior, I hope my spelling is right. Yes. Then the next question is, what are the advantages of using Jenkins with Selenium? So Jenkins is basically very, very useful for automatically triggering your test cases when code changes are committed to the repository. All in all, see guys, when you think about things practically, you have this entire test suite of 100, 200, 500 test cases, and you want them to run every day. So isn't it a better idea that you had some sort of tool that will trigger these executions automatically for you? Number one. Number two, anytime there's a new deployment and you want to run your regression suite, let's suppose if the deployment is happening in the US time zone or in the EU time zone, you don't want to wake up, right? So you set up a system wherein anytime there's a deployment, your test suite will run automatically. Number one, that is the advantage. Number two is parallel execution. So you have 500 test cases running. Every test case one after the other is going to take a lot of time. How if I divide 500 test cases into five equal jobs and I run 100 test cases, 100 test cases, 100 test cases, and so on five times parallelly, right? That will save a lot of time. Then third is integration with tools such as Jira, GitHub, and Slack. That is, uh, the power of Jenkins is such that you can integrate it with Jira, GitHub. That is, if let's suppose your build failed or your build passed, all these values or all these results are going to be sent to you automatically. The bugs can be logged automatically. So all these different features or all these different powers are provided by Jenkins. Okay. Then the next question is, what is the primary disadvantage of implicit wait? This is sort of a, uh, I would say medium level question. It's not an easy question because we hear a lot about implicit wait and all, but what exactly is the disadvantage? Number one is global impact. That is, implicit wait is set once and it applies to all. So you cannot expect implicit wait to do things individually for every step. Lack of flexibility, because of course, if you cannot specify for any step specifically, it's not flexible. It gets declared globally, right? Then potential for flaky tests. What does this mean? This means implicit weight is not compatible with explicit weights. Mixing the two can lead to unpredicted behavior, which means that if you're using implicit, you should not use explicit. If you're using explicit, you should not use implicit, right? Because if you mix them both, it is going to create a havoc. Then debugging challenges, because anytime you use implicit weight, it is only going to throw an error which is no such element exception, right? So while you're trying to debug it, it might create trouble for you. It might create a problem for you. You might not be able to understand that why exactly is the problem occurring, because every error is going to throw the same exception, that is no such element exception, right? So these are some primary disadvantages of implicit weight. Next time someone asks you, I think now you'll be able to answer, right? Cool. So I think I always try to minimize the questions in every video and make more videos, because that somehow promotes easy learning. So I think we're good for this video, and we have covered some questions. In the next video, I'm going to continue with more questions. And I understand that every time the video cannot be referred to you, it's good for the first time learning. So you have the access to this particular presentation in the YouTube section, in the YouTube description, video description. So go and have a look at it. And of course, any questions, any concerns, anything at any point of time, feel free to reach out to us, right? So yeah, I hope that these videos are helping you out and you ace your next interview. So again, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.